I took Jay-Z and shopped him to every single label, and they all said no. It was more friendship for me and money for him. But he did things that I thought he would never do. So now I would be like, oh, he would do that, and I would make sure it didn't happen.
How do you feel towards Jay-Z now?
I don't feel nothing.
Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters.
Y'all better get in here for this one, because Dame Dash just set the internet on fire after going off on Jay-Z for allegedly trying to silence Jaguar Wright. According to Dame, the claims Jaguar made about Jay-Z and Beyonce are 100% true. That's exactly why, instead of suing her for defamation, they decided to send her a cease and desist letter, because they know Jaguar has the receipts to back up everything she's saying. And let's be real, they don't want all that mess coming out into the public. For those who don't know, Dame and Jay used to be super tight. They even partnered up to create the now dissolved Rockefeller Records. However, Dame started distancing himself from Jay after he felt betrayed.
It was more friendship for me and money for him. But he did things that I thought he would never do. So now I would be like, oh, he would do that, and I would make sure it didn't happen.
Especially when Jay began cozying up to industry creeps like Diddy and R. Kelly. Dame has also openly expressed his belief that Jay was somehow involved in the tragic death of Aaliyah. And guess what? Dame isn't backing down from that theory, because now he's teaming up with Jaguar Wright to expose Jay even more. This feud between Jay-Z and Dame Dash just got a whole lot messier, and we're about to spill all the tea on it. This fiasco really kicked off just a few weeks ago when Jaguar Wright appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored and made some shocking allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce. From there, things escalated fast, and now Dame is fully supporting Jaguar in her crusade to bring Jay's secrets to light. Brace yourselves, because we're about to dive deep into all the drama. Jaguar Wright has been calling out Jay-Z for years, and the reason is simple. She's worked with him at some point in her career, and she claims to have witnessed his shady behavior firsthand. According to Jaguar, Jay-Z and Beyonce would allegedly fill their unsuspecting victims with illicit substances. Once those victims were knocked out from overdosing on the substances, they'd bring them over to their house and engage in unimaginable acts. But it gets even darker. Jaguar also claims there are actual bodies in Jay and Beyonce's house, and that Jay-Z played a role in the tragic death of Aaliyah. And here's where it gets even wilder. Jaguar says these are the kinds of secrets Diddy might reveal once his trial starts. According to her, anyone who thinks otherwise just isn't paying attention. She insists that a lot of people in the industry know about this, but they're too scared to say anything. This latest interview really set things off, because it was the first time Jaguar made these explosive allegations on mainstream media, meaning more people were starting to take her seriously, and that had Jay-Z and Beyonce absolutely furious. In fact, they immediately sent a cease and desist letter to Piers Morgan, demanding that he take the interview down and censor his supposedly uncensored show. And guess what? Piers folded under the pressure and took it down. Because, let's be real, he wasn't about to go toe-to-toe with two of the most powerful people in the industry.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
He did exactly what they asked, making it clear that even on an uncensored platform, some names are just too powerful to cross. This move, however, only added more fuel to the fire, making people wonder what exactly Jay and Beyonce were so desperate to hide. The more they try to silence Jaguar, the more people seem to pay attention to what she's saying. A lot of people, including Dame Dash, were not here for Jay-Z's attempt to silence Jaguar Wright, and Dame made his stance crystal clear in a recent interview. When asked about his thoughts on Jay sending Jaguar a cease and desist, Dame didn't hold back. He insinuated that Jaguar was telling the truth in her interview, and if she were really lying, Jay-Z would have hit her with a lawsuit instead of a cease and desist letter. Dame even pointed out how Jay and his lawyer, Ben Shapiro, allegedly sabotaged his deal to sell his shares of Rockefeller. He reminded everyone that when Jay wanted to come after him, they didn't bother with a cease and desist. They slapped him with a full-on lawsuit right from the start. According to Dame, that's how Jay...
That lawyer never sent me a cease and desist. Because in essence, a cease and desist is just a warning letter. It's nothing. You don't have to send a cease and desist before you sue somebody. You just get right to suing. So my experience with this person is they never sent me a cease and desist. He just went right to court. Now, if you're into business, and this is why like certain platforms like Earn Your Leisure, y'all talk about this. So I want y'all to talk about the business of this. Charlemagne, you talk about one side, please talk about all sides. The business of this. Rockefeller Inc. is not Jay-Z's personal. It's not Big's personal. It's not mine personal. So Jay's lawyers should not be representing Rockefeller Inc. It's a conflict of interest. So why is Jay's lawyer representing Rockefeller Inc.? How can that lawyer represent anyone's interest but the person paying them? How is that, I don't even know, is that legal? I'd like that to be a topic of conversation, but I know that that's what that person has done.
He only sends cease and desist letters when he knows the person has receipts to back up their claims. He further explained that with a lawsuit, things could get exposed in court. But with a cease and desist, it's more about keeping things quiet without risking too much exposure. Dame's point was clear. Jay and Beyonce probably didn't want to go the lawsuit route with Jaguar because they know she's got the evidence to defend herself, and they don't want any of it coming to light. But Dame didn't stop there. He also slammed Jay for allegedly paying off TMZ to give him and Beyonce good press, while simultaneously putting up unflattering articles about people they don't like, including all part of the playbook, keeping their image spotless while damaging the reputation of anyone who threatens their empire. Dame's take only fueled more speculation about what Jay and Beyonce are really trying to hide. Could Jaguar's claims be closer to the truth than most people realize? This explains why there's been such a clear agenda to paint Jaguar Wright as mentally ill. And that narrative really started getting pushed by TMZ. In fact, right after her appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored, DJ Vlad, who's known to be close to Jay-Z, jumped on his own segment and completely dismissed everything Jaguar said. He labeled her as mentally unstable and called her a conspiracy theorist. But people weren't here for Vlad's dismissive tone, and they dragged him. One person even commented, "DJ Vlad needs to be looked at. Seriously, calling Jaguar Wright a conspiracy theorist, bro? Everything she told us is unfolding right in front of our eyes. Always be wary of someone who labels another person as crazy." Another person added, "Something is up with this Vlad guy." After listening to him here, I think he was involved in this stuff too. He's minimizing it way too much. It's clear that DJ Vlad's attempt to discredit Jaguar didn't sit well with the public, and many began questioning why he was so quick to dismiss her claims. But this wasn't the only time Dame Dash came to Jaguar's defense. In another interview, he was once again asked about his thoughts on Jaguar making it to national news with her explosive allegations, and Dame didn't hold back. He said everything Jaguar has been saying is true. However, he also mentioned that she sometimes adds a little extra information to grab people's attention and ensure they're listening. Dame explained that while Jaguar may embellish some details, much of what she says are things he personally knows about. He emphasized that Jaguar's message is rooted in real truths that many in the industry have been too afraid to acknowledge. Dame's consistent support for Jaguar has only added more fuel to the fire. While some may try to discredit her, the fact that Dame Dash, someone who knows Jay-Z personally, is backing up her claims has people wondering just how much truth is buried in the stories Jaguar has been sharing. And Dame Dash admitted that he's been sitting on this information for years, but he was too scared to say anything because he knew people would either think he was crazy or just hating on Jay-Z. What's even crazier about this whole situation is that Jaguar Wright is one of the few people who stood firmly behind Dame when Jay allegedly sabotaged him and dragged him to court. At the time, Jaguar revealed that Dame played a much bigger role in Rockefeller's success than people give him credit for. According to her, Dame was the one who put the most money into the label and worked the hardest to build it from the ground up. Going back to Dame's issues with Jay, he's been speaking out about him for a long time. The main reason they fell out in the first place? Aaliyah. Back in the day, when Aaliyah was still alive, Jay was allegedly trying to get romantically involved with her. He showered her with all kinds of gifts, but Aaliyah turned down every single one of his advances. The reason? She was in a committed relationship with Dame and wasn't about to leave him for Jay. This reportedly infuriated Jay, and many people believe that his jealousy played a part in the events that led to Aaliyah's tragic death. Some even speculate that Jay-Z might have helped R. Kelly in allegedly setting up the situation that led to her demise. Dame has hinted at this theory multiple times, suggesting that Jay's bitterness over Aaliyah choosing him over Jay fueled a lot of the tension between the two. And while this theory is dark and shocking, it's one that's been circulating for years among those who believe there's much more to the story than the public knows. With all of this coming to light, it's no wonder that the feud between Dame and Jay has only gotten messier over time. The history between them, mixed with the tragedy of Aaliyah's death, adds layers to an already complicated relationship. It's clear as day that Dame Dash has a lot more to say than he's currently letting on, but he's holding back. I mean, he's admitted himself that the claims Jaguar Wright is making about Jay-Z are things he's been waiting to say for years. But he's been hesitant because he knows he'll be labeled as a hater. However, it seems like Jaguar's bravery is giving Dame the motivation he needs to finally speak up. His support for her could very well be the first step in him opening up about everything he's kept quiet about. And of course, people had plenty of opinions on this. One person commented, "Labeling Dame as bitter is crazy. I relate to him so much because when you tell the truth, you're constantly labeled as mad, angry, or bitter. That's BS though. The truth is the truth." Another person chimed in, "When people are telling the truth that sounds outrageous to common people, they get labeled crazy over and over. So many have been pulling the fire alarm for 20 plus years. Evil industry. It's obvious that a lot of people are seeing through the attempts to discredit Dame and Jaguar. Instead of dismissing them, folks are paying more attention to what they're saying, especially with all the shocking revelations coming to light. But now, I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Dame Dash standing behind Jaguar Wright? And do you think this will be the beginning of him speaking out more, despite the risk of being called crazy? Is this the moment Dame finally decides to tell the whole truth, no matter what? Y'all already know what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to check out this other super messy video. You won't want to miss it.